Y'all, it is hot. I'm trying to let some of the oven air out while the air conditioner cools down enough to drive. I've been hiding in the house for a few days. I get these things called cluster headaches. I made a video a few years ago about them. And they come in clusters, which means in snippets of time over the greater picture in groups of clusters. Most of the time, these headaches last me 3 days, and then they go on. Sometimes they break apart, and I think I'm done with them on the second day, and then all of a sudden they come back on the third day. They're like an ice pick being shoved in my eye, and there's pain all around this quadrant here. Photosensitive light is like pain to me, I perceive on this eye though. So I have to cover it up or patch it over or whatever and try to function, which sucks if you have to go to work. Thankfully, I didn't have to go to work this week. Various things tend to trigger them. Sometimes a change in weather pressure, like say a high pressure system is over us. Sometimes overheating. These are things that I've noticed in the past because I don't overindulge in alcohol anymore. Alcohol will make them worse in general, but hangover headaches would flare up into these. So I kind of stay away from alcohol if possible, which is all the time lately in the last year, because I haven't even drank anything in quite some time. Anyhow, I digress. But there's no real known cause, according to the Mayo Clinic and other sites. There's some nutritional things you can do to help. They think maybe that it has to do something to do with the biological clock, the clock in your head, like sleep clock or whatever, day-night clock. And I noticed that if I don't get enough sleep, or I'm overtired, or my sleep patterns get messed up, that will affect it too. And the only thing that has happened lately to cause that would be, I mean, I'm constantly hot right now because it's summer, but my sleep patterns are off because the time that I should be fall asleep already, I've got to go get up and get my kid from work. And then it takes me a good hour or two to fall back asleep because I have to force myself into a driving alert mode, which isn't very much of an alert mode at that time of night. And then try to settle back down because I've always had trouble sleeping and winding down. And so by the time I go to sleep, it's after midnight. And if I have to get up and go to work the next day, or just in general, because my brain will try to wake me up at the normal time to get up anyway. And if I can go back to sleep. But it's just miserable. So, of course, my son has no sympathy at all for me. He's like, too bad. I'm never paying for my own insurance because I hate your car. And all this kind of mess. Because he says, I'll just walk home. Well, he can't walk home. We're rural. I mean, he could, but he'd get run over probably, more likely than not, or jumped. And he knows that I know that, so I'll continue to torture myself this way. But it's very exhausting. I mean, aspirin caffeine combinations help some briefly. That stupid gabapentin actually does help for that. I looked up some research, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. So I'm going to eliminate that medication from my life, especially because it makes me feel so fat, because it's making me fatter, and I've always had to fight fat. Oh, and I'm starting to feel very depressed about that. Anyhow, if you have cluster headaches, comment below. What helps you besides dark? And noise. Noise is another thing. I can't wear an earphone in the left ear because this is on the left side. I can wear one in the right ear, but even the sound in that ear hurts. And it has to do with a brain thing. Some people say blood pressure medicines help it. It just depends. All I know is it's torture from the devil. Y'all have a blessed day.